What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York calling from Zoom again. And this time we are here with Sam of Madmess. Thanks for being here, man. It's great to have you here.
Thanks, man. It's cool to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
it's great.
Well,
It's great to have you here as well. We have the new album Rebirth coming out on December 10th. How was the overall making of this album? How did Rebirth sort of get born, as I like to say?
yeah, this kind of like worked out of the pandemic. Really, like we had a lot of time to work on this album, and we kind of like had many ideas. So like we joined them together and like worked it out during like 2020 and most of lockdown time in London. And yeah, we just hit Wales and we recorded there, and it was great, man. It was like really good experience.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was weird times, but we managed to do something great out of it, I guess.
Yeah, I know it's a cliche question to ask, but is there any way, like, recording this during the lockdown that maybe these times maybe inspired the making of Rebirth? Yeah.
I mean, I mean, really, yeah. The name Rebirth really comes from like the rebirth of the band after like this like 2 years that we stopped like playing gigs and doing like um just like it's the new coming of the band basically like after this odd times
Mhm.
basically. But
Do,
yeah, it's pretty different album, so it's also like a new sound for the band. It's like a new compared to our previous EP.
mhm.
So yeah.
Mm. Do you feel that this sound is going to be the sound that Mad Mess is going to pursue in the future, or do you think that you're going to experiment even further for future music?
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep like experimenting. Like we like to keep this like I don't know. It would be good also to keep this as our main sound, like, but we want to experiment with different stuff and like just do crazy stuff every time and try to like innovate with like new ideas every record, not just like keeping the same like I don't know sound or vibe, like and keeping repeating it in every record.
Hmm.
I think yeah. So like we try to be creative every time. So yeah, um, it might change in the future. Yeah,
When it comes to
the
the
sound.
when it comes to the overall sound, does it start off with kind of like a preconceived idea of what you want it to sound like, or is there a lot of like improvising involved and a lot of trial and error?
Um, yeah, there's actually a lot of improvising. Like this album had a lot of more written content, I guess. Like the previous EP was more like jammy, more around like improvisation and jams. I guess this new one has a lot of more like written content due to like actually due to us being like in our homes like writing music because of pandemic and stuff. So we wrote a lot of new content. So it has a lot of more like written and like thought out ideas. Um, yeah, compared to the previous EP. But yeah, still has a lot of like improvisations and that kind of vibe in this record as well because like we really enjoy that. It's like something that we like to do.
Yeah,
So
improvise like a lot of the greatest songs are also discovered by accident sometimes. So.
yeah, man, for sure, for sure.
Now, listening to this album, I was, definitely getting a lot of, sort of like stoner rock, psychedelic vibes behind it from bands, whether it's Clutch or Sleep or, Acid King, even like, Kylesa, that sort of style. So, like, I mean, I know it is sort of cliche to ask, like, what your influences are, but I do see a lot of, like, classic rock combined with, like, stoner rock. I am curious to see, like, what, your sources of inspiration were for the development of the sound of Mad Mess.
Yeah, I all those bands you mentioned are pretty cool. Actually, I dig them all. But yeah, man, it's kind of a fusion of styles. Really, like we kind of like we're a trio, and like we kind of have like this triangle of like different influences, and we join them together. But like stoner rock is what a main one of in the three of us, where we actually like base a lot of like 70s like progressive rock and like more heavy rock from '60s even like, and but yeah, stoner rock, more like even funk music. We try to use a lot of like, groove stuff. But yeah, stoner rock is a big influence in our sound because we try to bring those like more old school prog vibes with like a more modern like '90s stoner rock influence. Um, and yeah, man, it's just like a lot of influences, and we try to put it all in the same bag
Mhm.
because we like to experiment and be creative. So like we kind of like doing this fusion of like styles and bringing back like styles that are a bit like more forgotten in the past, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm gonna almost put you on the spot because I like having this debate in a way. How do you define stoner rock or stoner metal? Because I've gotten stoned from everything from Cannibal Corpse to Baroness to High on Fire to Megadeth, and like I've smoked plenty of weed to like black metal and metalcore and new metal.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, on
Me
Halloween,
too, actually. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, on
I think it's
Halloween.
like people like to put things in boxes, and like stoner rock or stoner metal is just like one more box that people put bands in, you know.
Yeah,
It's not really.
I was making a joke
Yeah.
because Limp Bizkit put out an album on Halloween, and we were all very excited to smoke weed and listen to that on Halloween. So I even joke around saying Limp Bizkit is my favorite stoner band.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so like
No, it's really like just one more box. Like I don't know. I think it's like okay in terms of sound. Like maybe it comes from the '90s. Like there's like Kaius vibes. I think that comes from like the desert rock kind of like vibes, and that kind of like started the stoner vibes. But like in I think early 2000s was like when stoner rock became more of a thing, and like appeared like loads of bands and like um, yeah. I
yeah,
don't know how to define it. It's just like yeah, it's pretty like slow and heavy, and like yeah,
yeah,
and stoners enjoy it. Like
definitely.
I
De-
guess
but
I
I,
guess
I
that's it.
I think it's fair to say though, when you're stoned, everything sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you enjoy what you're listening, yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Definitely. Definitely. I was at a
Even if
deathcore.
it's like black metal or like yeah,
Yeah.
or Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I was stoned at an Acacia Strain concert last night, so
Okay,
yeah. But definitely,
cool.
I don't recommend being in their pit while you're stoned. But like, does every song maybe start off the same way? You mentioned that there's a lot of improvising started. So does like every song develop maybe from like a riff idea or like from a rhythmic idea, or has the approach to every song started from a different angle?
um, it's actually they're quite different. Actually, like we try to make them like we try to make them like connect with each other, but in a way that like it, each one individually have like a different sound or like different ideas or even specific ideas like that we kind of like okay we have this like real cool rhythmic idea, let's put it in this song, and then on the other one we do like some other cool rhythmic idea. We don't repeat much like the same ideas and the same constructions of the songs like when we write them. We kind of like try to make them like different in a way that like it's always a surprise. It's always something new
Hmm.
coming. But we also try to connect them in some way, which I feel it's pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's just like I don't know, Madness I guess says it all. And like we just like we try to do like always new stuff, be creative, like improvise mixed with like crazy rhythmic ideas. Um, yeah, and just create something new
Hmm.
that hasn't been there. That like you can hear our influences in our music, but it's like actually like our own sound because we're trying to I don't know go move that direction. I guess.
Hmm.
Um,
Is there ever a time where maybe lyrics or like a lyrical idea could influence the sound of the music as well, or have you always needed to hear music in order to come up with lyrics?
yeah, normally we write the instrumentals first, and then we just add like some lyrics that in some parts. We don't have much lyrics really. Um, we'll see. We might bring more in the next records. But I don't know. I think we have like a lot happening in the instrumental, and we like to we really dig the instrumental like vibe of the band. So like we don't want to like also like overwhelm it too much with vocals. I don't know. Maybe some tracks ask a bit more vocals. Some like don't even ask for vocals at all. So we'll see as it goes. Like it's cool to have vocals because it's one more instrument really. So yeah, we might bring more vocals in the future. We'll see. But like mm, the lyric content is not like um, is the lyrical content of our songs is really from like experiences that we had together that we just like put them in the songs,
Hmm.
which is actually like something that I'm proud of. Like it's not just like some random lyrics. It's cool. Um, but yeah, we don't have many, so it's just like tiny bits.
Yeah.
But we'll see in the future. Maybe we'll bring more lyrics or more lyrical content.
Yeah, who knows? Well, what I find fascinating is because of your riffing style and how raw it is. I almost feel like any vocal style could work over it. I could see you screaming in one part. I could see you singing in another part. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Some people say that they should bring more vocals. Maybe it's something that we need to think about. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's your band. You can do whatever you want. Do you find it easier to come up with new ideas? Do you find it easier to come up with new ideas when you're in the a company of your other bandmates, or do you prefer to maybe write alone in isolation when there's really nothing between you and the instrumentation?
Hmm. Actually, we have a bit of both, really. Like we write like the three of us by ourselves. Actually, like when we're alone, but we also like do a lot of like pairing, like just like two of us, or just like me and drummer, or like guitar and bass, and we join and we get I think are the most like creative ones because we just like we're two members of the band. Like we can think like if I'm with the drummer, we do something more rhythmical. If I'm with bass, like we write some more melodic ideas or harmonic stuff. And yeah, it's just like those moments are actually the most like the ones that we can take more out of. But but yeah, man, like it's just I don't know. We like to write. Our drummer writes a lot alone, and he records and sends a lot of stuff to us. So like sometimes he might send something to me, and like we like the idea. We work on it. I work on it by myself for a while, and then I join with bass, and like we just practice together, and like we make something out of it.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, but it's also coming a lot of our stuff from like jams when we are the three of us together. So it's like a mix of this that I just said, and like jams when we're together. So it's like yeah, we try to take bits from everywhere. Really,
Are there any
it's like
are there any songs on the new album that were created by accident?
no, don't think so.
Oh wow.
No, we had time to think about this once. We had time to think.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like I said, it was a lot of quarantine and stuff. So we spent a lot of time together, like just figuring out like the songs and stuff.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Great to be able to chat with you. Is there just anything
yeah,
else
cool.
with the release of Rebirth that you'd like to promote for Mad Mess? Can we be expecting some shows? Can you maybe bring Mad Mess to the U.S. one day? We'd love to have you here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'd love to, man. Like we'd love to go to US. We're still planning for Europe next year for 2022. And yeah, and UK as well. But yeah, we'll see what time brings. Maybe next summer. Well, we'll see. We'll see
Definitely.
what we can do.
We would love to have you here, but
But
thank you
yeah.
so much. Everybody, we are here with
Uh,
Mad Mess. Be sure to check out Rebirth. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we will see you next time.